Let's talk about the
Time.
time frames
Yeah.
of possible prosecutions. I think we have to start with Fani Willis because when she stood up in court a couple of weeks ago and she said two really important things. She said, Judge, you can't release the grand jury report, which recommends, I'm quite sure, prosecuting any number of people for any number of violations of Georgia state law. You can't release it because it would impact the defendants, plural. And she made a point in several different ways of saying defendants, plural. It would interfere with their right to a fair trial. You don't say that. The only way you become a defendant is if you're going to be indicted. She's not reckless or careless with her words. That signals indictments are coming. Then she went on to say, and our charging decisions are imminent, not a casual word. Imminent has to mean weeks. To my way of thinking, it could mean months. It sounds like weeks, right? And we do know the regular grand jury came back into session to make these decisions beginning on January 24th. So we're in good shape. It feels like indictments are imminent in Georgia. That's probably, and Dean, I have to say, with Donald Trump now posting and reposting calls to violence, specifically one of his supporters said, I will fight for him. If he is not made president again, I will fight for him until the day I die. We are locked and loaded. And Donald Trump reposted it. Here's what I predict, Dean. The day Donald Trump is indicted and is scheduled to appear for an arraignment on that indictment, his first court appearance, he will post, come to Atlanta on the day of my arraignment, will be wild. And here we go again. Let's see if DOJ gives him the opportunity to launch a second violent attack. I sure hope not. But I think Fani Willis gets out of the gates first. I think DOJ Jack Smith gets out of the gate second on the stolen documents at Mar-a-Lago, because there is a false equivalency going around with respect to Biden and Pence, both of whom invited the FBI in, both of whom alerted government that we have some documents that we found that we shouldn't have. They belong to the National Archives. They gave them over. They welcomed follow-up discussions, communications, and searches to make sure everything that they shouldn't have gets returned to the National Archives where it properly belongs, which is the exact opposite of everything Donald Trump did. Don't believe the false equivalency. So I think Jack Smith gets out of the block second with the classified documents at Mar-a-Lago case. And then, Bragg, I don't know, maybe he gets around to it, maybe he doesn't. But, at some point, we've got to indict Donald Trump for inciting the insurrection. Or if we don't, DeSantis gets to do it all over again, or whoever else comes into power and aspires to be a dictator, they get to do it all over again, because DOJ will have put its stamp of approval on Donald Trump's conduct.